Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're watching the GSL Talkshow. Tonight, we have a repeat guest. Miss Daisy Paige is back with us tonight, and we can't wait to hear more about her book and everything else she has going on. Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's a miracle, baby. Shot chill, miracle Sims, let's go.
Welcome back to the GSL Talk Show. I am here with the lovely Miss Daisy Paige. Hello.
Hello, family.
Yes, welcome back, lady. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I cannot complain. I'm glad to see you.
I'm
You look
so glad to
well.
see you too. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. I know you have some updates for us. So I'm glad to
I
have you back.
do have a couple things to talk about.
Hmm. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear all about it. But you want to give us a little bit of an update? Like, how are things since the last time we chit-chatted?
Um, Physically or what I've been doing productively.
Okay.
Well, physically, since we spoke earlier, so I have progressed a little more. But for those that didn't see me last time on your show, I'm the author. My first time book was endorsed by Kirk Cameron. Unexpected Moments. It's
Mm-hmm.
a story about my life, and it talks about how I was sexually, physically, and mentally abused for most of my life, and
Mm-hmm.
I kept my faith, and God pulled me through that just to be diagnosed with a rare terminal neurological condition.
Mm-hmm.
Only one out of every 100,000 people in the US are diagnosed with the disease. And unfortunately, I drew a unlucky card, I should say. And I got one of those cards out of the 100,000.
Mm. Well, I mean, from what I can see, even in spite of that, you are doing miraculous things, and God is doing miraculous things with you, for you, and through you. So I commend you on that because not only do you have that one book there, but I know you have another one to tell us about, right?
I do. I was God told me when I was 14 that I was going to have a really big testimony to share one day. And he didn't lie. I have written 2 books, and it's my story, my testimony.
Mm,
The second book is um Beyond Heaven's Gates.
mm, mhm. And those of you all that may be noticing that beautiful artwork, I know that one of your children created both of those covers, right?
No, she just did this one.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
then my son had a friend do this one, which I'm very proud of. It turned out
Oh,
really well.
yes.
It's beautiful. And exactly how I visioned the gates. You know,
Mm,
it starts off, shares a few short stories about how I've gone to heaven and I've seen glimpses and know how beautiful it is up there and what we have to look for when we get there.
mm,
And these gates that she designed are exactly as I saw them in my vision.
mm.
So, um,
That is beautiful. Shout out
yeah.
to her, right? Your friend
Yeah,
is
Isabelta is her name.
Miss Isabel.
Beautiful,
My child is Miss Isabel. Great.
beautiful name.
Mm-hmm.
But and you can't see it, but there's actually, well, you can see the doorknobs, they're
Mm-hmm.
diamond, and then
Mm.
all the little swirls have diamonds in
Mm.
them, as well as the gates. And that's how I saw it. It was like they were all golden, and it had sparkling diamonds in them. And St. Peter was standing on the side waiting to check everybody in.
Mm.
And I got to go inside and see my family that passed before me. So I share a few short stories about that.
Mm.
Um, it ends up in the throne room, believe it or not. And that is the most beautiful room I have ever seen in my entire life.
Mm.
And then it picks back up as in the middle, it's called Unexpected Moments Continue, Living with MSA,
Mm. Okay.
and tells, about my life with MSA from this book on till
Mm.
February, so not too long ago. I,
Okay.
I wrote it myself. I had Isabel to do the cover, but I published it myself this time on Amazon, and
Mm.
I am in the middle of publishing Unexpected Moments on Amazon to republish it
Okay.
because I didn't have, a full contract with the publishing company. So I have
Okay.
freedom to publish it wherever, how many times I want to. So
Yes.
I'm excited about that. It's
Yes.
gonna look a little different, but it's gonna be pretty much the same book.
Mm.
And Miracles story is here on chapter 5.
Oh my. I listen, y'all. I'm honored. I'm in the book, y'all.
Let's talk about our time that we met last time,
Mm-hmm.
and then the back of the book um, are links to readers that can donate,
Mm.
and also it has oh, it's just new, so it's kind of stiff, the book, and of course my hands don't work very well, but we have links to all the podcasts that gave me permission to write about them in the book. So your link is in here in the book as well.
Oh.
Here we go. I'm not sure if it's on this page, but as you can see, there's how links are written in the book.
Wow.
Scott, I think that 37 out of the 52 interviews I had done, oh, okay, gave me permission to write about the podcast in there in the book.
Mm.
And I enjoy those podcasts, meeting people like you. And there's so many people out there that have helped me and promoted, that you helped me promote the Daisy Vine, and um God's calling me home. But before he does, I'm going to have my husband, my son is getting reassigned, restationed. He's getting transferred to a base that is an hour and a half away from me
Mm.
in May, so next month. So, and I know that God had something to do with that. He's bringing my son home to mom to say goodbye. I've seen him 3 times in 5 years.
Mm.
He's been in Dubai. He's been in Alaska, Nebraska, everywhere but home. So,
Wow. Well, I know you're looking forward to seeing him then.
yes, I am. I can't wait. He's actually gonna move in here with me for a bit until he finds a place. So
Hmm.
he's driving back and forth an hour and a half each day.
Wow. Well, I mean, there's so many things to say. Like, first, I want to say again, thank you for even considering me at all in this new book. That's a blessing. I know when you asked, I was like, that's no problem at all for me. And even when it came to the other things and whatnot, I noticed that you would be tuned in to different things, I guess, on like our Facebook and things like that. And I'm like, they're gonna be Stacey commenting. So, I appreciate you for, not only coming by and sharing your testimony and everything, but just showing us love overall. And I'm glad that we have this opportunity to chit chat again. And, I know you say the Lord's calling you home and everything. And I mean, that could be so, and everything. But while you're here now, I just would say thank you so, so much. And, I love you, sister. And, I know you,
You
um,
too.
yeah, like you have so many wonderful testimonies and things to share about what the Lord has done. And I'm just glad to even just be a part to, or have a platform for you to be able to share and everything like that. I feel like anybody that encounters you in your books and your story overall, it definitely has a lot to, I guess, consider when it comes to like different things that we go through. Because sometimes we go through things and we feel like it's the worst thing possible. But somehow, in the midst of all of the things you've been going through, um, you still allow the Lord to use you in your life and your testimony, and through the books, through your interviews, and everything like that. And so, you can still be used by God no matter what. And I think that's an amazing thing to show with your life. That, in my opinion, your life is showing that.
Well, I
Um,
wouldn't
that
imagine
testimony.
it any other way. And you and I, we connected after the show last time we talked for quite some time. And
Mhm.
I really appreciate that. It was a great conversation that we had. And your inspirations that you do every day. A lot of times I'll be, really down and I'll see that and then like, look at there, Miracle just made my day. And you made me feel better. So I
Oh,
appreciate it. I need those. I look forward to 'em. And
oh man.
I try to do some motivational inspirations every day too,
Hmm.
as well as little scriptures. But it's like yesterday, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before. Um, I had God tell me something, and He talks to you in your heart, and so that's why I know it was Him. And I know He's been speaking with me because He's told me what to write in my books because I use Him every day. And what He said really hit hard in the heart. He told me it's really easy to find. I wrote it as soon as I woke up and I heard the words. I wrote them down in my phone. So here's what we said. He said, "Patience, patience, patience, all in due time. There is joy in the waiting. Divine timing is at hand. We can see the path ahead and we are preparing it for you. While you wait, take care of you. Slow down. Use your energy. Ground. Clear chords. Meditate." Well, open this more. but here we go. Meditate, embrace the moment, it's coming.
Mm. Um, and, so, and so that brought you some comfort and peace.
It did.
Mm.
It really did. I even reached out to a priest that I've been talking to. Says I woke up good and wrote those words down.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that um it was God, and he felt it too. He said that it was beautiful and that he believes it reminded him of a verse in the Bible, Psalms 27. I believe I shall see the Lord's goodness in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Take courage. Be stout hearted. Wait for the Lord.
Mm. It is. It is beautiful. Um, I hope that anybody again listening to the sound of your voice today is encouraged and inspired by that, because that is an encouraging word, especially for somebody that may be waiting for something, or um, feeling lost, or not to say impatient, but that could be another way that someone could be feeling as well. That, hopefully that will encourage them to wait on the Lord and to um, see the things that He has in store. Sometimes again, those things can go beyond our own understanding. We want something so bad or whatever, but then God has something better down the line. So,
There's something else that you gotta do. He
mm,
wants you to do.
mm-hmm,
He wants you to see. Things like that. So,
mm-hmm.
and another arm. And I'm just gonna have to be patient.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I know earlier you were saying, before we got started recording or whatnot, you were saying that you feel like, God has a little bit more for you to do and everything like that. Like, how do you feel about, being on this journey and the things that the Lord is doing with you, for you, and through you, um, from your bed, as you would, consider it, like how do you feel about those different tasks that He's put in front of you?
I feel good about it because what I feel that it is basically going on the shows that wanted me to write about them in the book, or gave me permission to write about them in the book, to help continue to get the word out um, about this book, because not only does it go along with unexpected moments, but it tells about visions and glimpses that I had of heaven that he wants me to share, because people need to know there truly is another life after this one.
Mm,
And if you've had a bad life here, just wait. There's a good one coming.
mm. Yes, I know that I've been like trying to keep in my heart and mind that, when I've been receiving, I guess over, I don't know if it's been like the past few months, but when it comes to this conversation about death, just reminding myself that it's more so like a transfer from one place to another versus, you know, um it being finite the way that we see or feel like it is. Um I recently had a cousin that passed and whatnot, and I know my mom my mom was there and witnessed, the moments, or her last moments, I would say. And I guess it brought me some peace to know that she passed in peace, because at the end of the day, like, she, was going through a lot of things health wise and whatnot. And mom said it wasn't like, any type of huge, like, caught nothing to it, just was like she stopped breathing. And um
That's
sometimes it
what I
can be just
want.
like that. Ma'am.
That's what I want.
Yeah, like a peaceful transition.
Yeah, because not long ago I had January 5th I had surgery. And um, February 8th I had gone to the doctor's office to simply change a suprapubic catheter, which is a
Mm,
catheter they put directly into your abdomen, to your bladder.
mm,
And she's supposed to do, or whoever inserted it in surgery is supposed to be the one to change it the first time because it doesn't basically have its track yet. And she let her nurse do it. And
mm.
it ended up being a horrible ordeal. She
Oh,
missed the bladder, was sent me home, and then I had to go to urgent care. And they put me in a CT and saw that she'd missed the bladder. And so when
mm,
they went to go put it in, the hole was already closed up to the bladder. They didn't know it, but they had tried to put it back in and busted through this little hammock that they make in surgery. So I ended up
mm,
in the hospital for 4 days. I don't want to
mm,
die of pain like that. When they went to that little hammock, so I call.
mhm.
It was worse than having children. It was worse than having kidney stones. It was the worst pain I've had in my life. And that will be no way to go.
Mm, my goodness. Yeah, I don't think. Well, one, I don't think most people think about that, but when we do, I don't. I definitely don't think people would choose. Like, if we could choose, I don't think many would choose to, have a tumultuous or horrific, or I think most people probably would just choose, like, either in their sleep. Sometimes I used to joke about being like, well, Lord, you just come take me like you did Elijah or somebody. But um, you know yeah, so I hope and pray that it, if it is to happen, when it is to happen and whatnot, that it is peaceful for you as well, because I'm sure you've been through a lot already. And I just can imagine having, like you just said, having to go through, and it be also painful as well. Like, mm,
Especially like that. It was horrible.
you know, put
And now I have to have the surgery done all over again.
oh man.
Start back at square one. Go through the
Mm,
healing from the surgery, have it changed again, and pray this time it works and
mm-hmm,
have success from it because, oh, that was
mm,
no fun.
I'm sure. um I, the only thing I can even compare it, and that's not trying to compare, but I'm trying to see if I can even remotely try to understand how you're feeling. And I mean, I know the pain of after childbirth, because I, by the grace of God, I had the epidural. So I really didn't feel too much. But definitely after, I felt all the things afterwards of in the healing process and whatnot. And so yeah, I just, that's probably the most pain I've ever really had in life. Outside of, I would get bad cramps and whatnot throughout life, until I got pregnant. And no cramps at all really these days now. That I had my son and whatnot, it hasn't been as bad as it used to be back when I was, before I became a mom. So um yeah, so I really don't know much pain, by the grace of God. Thank you, Lord Jesus. I haven't
Oh,
known much pain in my life.
I wanted to
um
come off that table.
mm,
I was screaming.
oh wow. And so there was nothing that they, like, so you were fully awake or whatnot while they're doing this type of surgery?
Not during the surgery, but when they were replacing it. And since they couldn't see the hole on the CAT scan, you know. So they were just the person that was experiencing those kind of catheters placed it in, and during the surgery, they put like a little hammock between the bladder and the abdomen wall. That's what they went through, and it ended up giving me, internal bleeding, and I had a UTI, so I had infected urine going throughout my body. It was a bad thing. I mean, if I would have been there, hours on hours later, I could have been septic and went that way, and that would have been a painful way to go.
Oh my goodness. Mm. Well, I'm glad you made it through it, and
Maybe even tougher.
yes, even tougher. And man, so well, how is your family and everybody doing?
Um, my my oldest daughter, she's doing really good. She got her new boyfriend. They seem to be happy,
Mm,
and my youngest daughter just works all the time. I guess so. We don't talk much anymore, and you'll read about that in the book some too, because I wanted her her to see how bad it hurt me. That I'm going to be leaving this world soon, and I haven't seen her in 9 months. She lives in the same town, and some really hateful words that she wrote to me. So
mm,
going from doing the cover to this, getting me my right Terrier Snoopy, to some hateful, spiteful words.
mm,
So I just pray. That's all I can do.
mhm,
And
mm,
let's see here. I was a little skeptical about the next one I had scheduled, titled God, Sex, and Love. However, the host Miracle and we clicked and had a deep conversation. I told her that I was writing Beyond Heaven's Gates and she wanted to interview me before it was released in a pre-launch party. Of course, that didn't happen. We didn't get to do that, but it took a while to get it out there, and they're supposed to give you dates. They didn't give me dates. It was there. So I was
mhm.
extremely excited about that, and we agreed to stay in touch. Uh, and which we have done. We have stayed in touch. I'm not gonna give it all away, but I just want to.
Oh, well, like I said, thank you for the consideration and everything. And I know it's so funny. The name, good old God, Sex, and Love. Like, I mean, well, at this point, I don't know if you have been following us and stuff, but that's, I guess, a lot of been going on my end where the it's like the channel is its own thing. God, Sex, and Love is like its own, like, network or channel at this point because
But once you get
now
in
I
it,
have so many. I'm sorry.
once you get in it, in your door, you understand the name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When before you're like, God, sex and love, those don't go together, but they really do.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yeah, at this point, like, I do call it the talk show GSL Talkshow now because when God first gave me God, Sex, and Love was the talk show. I was like, okay, it's called God, Sex, and Love. But I'm seeing that now it's more like a network, if I'm honest. Like, there are like several shows on there now. So there's the Juice, which is the Daily Inspiration. There's the GSL Talk Show, which is what we're doing now. And then there's these other shows and things that I've started, and I want to create others as well. Where I'm like, okay, I gotta start to it's all under the umbrella of God, Sex, and Love, but there's a lot of shows at this point where I'm like, okay, Lord, well, you didn't tell me that when we got started.
He doesn't do a lot of stuff when he gets started, but he gets you in there, and he starts opening the doors. Okay, go through this door, you'll find out what's next. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but
And I'm glad I did, because there was been no way I would have met you or any of the other amazing people that I've interviewed on the talk show and things like that. And I'm glad that you did not run or away or whatever the case is. I'm glad that you came by and shared your testimony, because I mean, your testimony embodies God, sex, and love in a lot of ways, because you mentioned how you went through a lot of, sexual abuse and then just all kinds of things where, you know, yeah, just saying overall. I mean, I'm glad that you were able to come and share your testimony, and hopefully you felt like, this is a free, open space to do so. I think that's ultimately what I've just set out to do, try to create a safe space where people can just come and share.
and I'm glad you do, because um, here's the back of the book. I wanted to show everybody that here.
Okay.
I know you can't read it from there, so I'll read it for you. It says,
Mm-hmm.
Beyond Heaven's Gate is a powerful testimony about God's impact on one woman's life when faced with a rare brain disease. Intended as a continued story, it's Daisy Paige's first book, Unexpected Moments, with a foreword by Kirk Cameron. Heaven's Gates shares God's giving glimpses of heaven through Daisy while living with multiple system atrophy, which they call MSA. Is the first and fast and fatal brain disease. About me, I live in a small Texas town with my husband and my three grown children, beginning each day by thanking God. I recount God's guidance in my life, even in the most different or difficult of moments. I testify to the ever powerful role of God and how my life changed dramatically after being diagnosed with MSA, because it
Mm-hmm.
has. And that's what I tell everybody. You know that miracle from the first book. Don't take life for granted. You
Mm-hmm.
never know what every waking hour is going to bring.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I took it for granted. And if I could go back and do things again, I would stop my motto, and smell the roses, which is generally speaking of life. I would take my time a little bit, enjoy the scenery around you. Don't just go through your days in a blur. Stop, because one day you might be able to walk, and the next day I can't even walk anymore. Miracle. I, I am fully in a wheelchair now. So that's how fast it's got me. My I'm on the couch here now, but my hospital bed's right there, and I can't even watch him. My husband takes me to it by wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
So every morning, that's how my day is spent, going from hospital bed to couch. It's not very fun. So take each moment, but brushing your own teeth, brushing your own hair, washing your own hair, giving yourself baths, feeding yourself, if it gets to the point where I have to have a feed tube, I'm not gonna take one. I have a DNR, on my advanced directive. I don't want any kind of artificial life. The only one I'm gonna do is this catheter because I've got to have relief somehow, and then just pain medicine to make me comfortable. And you probably can't hold my computer up here just a little bit because I want to show you something.
Mm.
Other way we go. Well, it's got a glare on it. Well, it's
Mhm.
my picture. I don't know if you can see it.
I see a little bit.
It's Kirk Cameron and me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's online.
Mhm.
So I have it online. But if it wasn't for him, I spoke to Mama and said, Beyond Heaven's Gates would not exist.
Mm.
And I wouldn't be here sharing my story. So I always want to do a little shout out to Kirk Cameron.
Mhm.
And everybody probably knows who he is.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I would say I was going to ask you. What do you feel like is the main thing that you want people to know? But it sounds like you've said it. If nothing else, people don't take life for granted. Every moment, everything that you could possibly do for yourself and everything like that. We ought to, I guess, recognize how beautiful that is to be able to do it. I don't know. Was there anything beyond that you would really want people to know?
I used to never leave the house without makeup.
Mm,
I can't tell you the last time I wore makeup because I can't put it on. My hands won't allow it. So
mm,
don't be vain. Just get out and enjoy yourself as God made you. You know,
mm, mhm,
you waste time. Think about all the minutes that we spend putting it on and taking it off. We're wasting some of God's precious time.
mm,
So there's other things we could be doing. We could be doing some devotions and
mm,
thanking God for this beautiful world that people aren't allowing him in anymore. Get out there and gather some troops.
mm,
Um, we gotta share God's word.
mhm.
They're taking it out of schools. It's just, I'm glad I'm done raising my children because I wouldn't want to be. And I feel so sorry for people that are raising their children these days.
She talking about me, y'all. Yes, I think we talked about that a little bit last time about how I'm feeling as a mom. My son will be turning 5 this year, and I know it's supposed to be school and all of that, but we're gonna see what the Lord do. I mean, right now he's in a virtual class, and we'll see.
You're
We'll
just
see.
getting started.
Yeah. So any wisdom you are bestowing upon me, I'm listening to.
I'm just gonna say good luck and follow your heart and listen to God because He knows what you're supposed to do. He knows what He wants you to do,
Hmm.
and and share your God with your son. Make sure he knows who God is too. I did that to my children, and a couple of them live that way in the way of God. Other ones live like if there's a God, there wouldn't be a world like there is today. But it says in the Bible the world today is in the Bible. I don't believe it's just the end of days for me. I
Mm-hmm.
believe it's coming the end of days for everyone. The way the world is. He told us about it in Romans 4:4. It's where it starts, I believe. Revelation 4:4. When he spoke of children will turn against parents. Um, there will be fires, and there will be tornadoes, and there will be hurricanes, and there's more than there used to be. Look at
Mm-hmm.
the tornadoes. There's like five or six, and I think there was even 30 at one time once. So the amount is getting up there. What we read in the Bible is coming to a head.
Mm-hmm.
And people should be scared if you're not a Christian. I hope that you find the Word of God and that you learn that Christ died on that cross. Like we celebrated this weekend Easter.
Mm-hmm.
That was God. He was resurrected to save us all from a very, very fearful death. And
Mm-hmm.
he's coming back for all the Christians. And then Kirk Cameron's movie Left Behind. Don't be one of those left
Mm-hmm.
behind. If you haven't seen Kirk Cameron's Left Behind and the Kendrick Brothers War Room, I really
Mm-hmm.
recommend those movies. There's Left Behind 1, 2, and 3. Have you not seen them?
I haven't seen the movies. I've always heard about the books and everything as well. I think for me, just reading Revelations as well is just like one of those things where it's like, whew, I really don't want to be left behind. I don't want to be when none of this stuff is going on because I do feel like this stuff is that things are kind of crazy now, but to know that it's going to be the way biblical, the way that Revelation talks about, I'm like, yeah, I'm looking forward to the rapture, and and trying to do my best to make sure I'm
You're on God's side, right?
yeah, yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
And I pray
Mm,
that will come long before that. I truly believe I will be. But
mm,
the sad thing is I have an appointment next month, and my doctor's never hugged me. Before I left my appointment last time, she gave me a really big tight hug. It was as if she was saying goodbye.
mm.
So I kind of feel like I'm not going to make it to her appointment. I'm just sticking around to spend a couple more dinners and a couple more nights with my son.
Well, I mean, I'm honored that you're spending some time with me today, and all of us that are watching and tuning in and everything like that. I mean, obviously, we know that time is precious, especially for you and everything like that. And so, I'm glad that we had this time to reconnect and that you were able to come back and share more of your testimony. I was going to ask you as well, the inspiration behind your book, but on one hand, I mean, just sharing the things that God has shown you and continuing, updating everyone on your life story. I mean, was there anything beyond that made you feel like, okay, I need to, finish up the book that you now have?
Well, I'll tell you another story. I was walking in this beautiful garden. It had a gold path, and there was the most beautiful flowers both sides of me. And I don't even know if I can describe it because it was just beautiful flowers, butterflies, and flowers. That's all it was. As far as you could see on both sides, and you're on like a yellow brick road, so to speak. Well, I walked to the end of this path and it came out on the golden shores. To the left, I looked over and I saw Jesus. I could only see his profile, but I knew it was him. And he was sitting on a big boulder under a tree. And the little children were sitting on little boulders under a tree, and he had a couple in his lap. And I said I wanted to go over there and see what he was reading, because he was reading to him. I could see the book in his hand. And I walked towards him, and I hit this invisible wall. I couldn't go any further. So I turned around, never seeing his face, which is really what I was wanting to see. I wanted to hear his voice. I wanted to see his face. He was wearing a white gown and he had this blue and red shawl on. So I turned around and I walked the other way and I looked out in the Golden Shores and there was a boat. And my mom and my dad and some more of my family are on this boat and they were fishing. They were each just reeling in their reels, they were catching them left and right. And I was like, hey, hey, mama, yelling their names. They didn't answer me, so like they couldn't hear me. So I turned around, went back down the yellow brick road or yellow path and golden path, and then in the garden. I walked out of my closet, so I don't know if it was to say fishing or dream.
That sounds amazing.
It was. It was beautiful. I mean, the garden was so indescribable, and the the weather and the clarity of the sky, and just it was amazing.
Mm.
And I believe that the more good you do here, the more beautiful place you'll have up there when you get there.
Mm.
So keep doing good so you'll get that mansion in the sky. Why we need a mansion, I don't know. Maybe all of our families live with us, like our
Mm.
dads and grandparents and their parents, and who knows. But I know there's a lot of mansions up there and it's beautiful. I just want
Mm.
people to know that. Take that to heart and do good. And find someone, and if you're not safe, to talk to,
Mm.
and take the Lord Christ as your Savior, and know that He died on that cross. Like I said, we celebrated this weekend. He died on the cross. 3 days later, He rose from the dead. He took that punishment, all that pain and suffering, so that we don't have to carry it alone. We
Mm.
all have our own crosses to carry,
Mm.
our own pain. But if we ask Him, since He's been through it, He knows what it's like. He'll help us. He'll pick up that cross and carry it for us.
Mm. People they may wonder like why you have held on to your faith and all these different things. Because sometimes, when people go through things, these are like some people, right? If they're not spiritually strong or however they want to look at it, right? They might turn their back on God in moments like these. And so, would you have anything to say or share with those people that are like with you being where you are and through all the things you've been through? And if y'all miss what all she's been through, y'all can go watch the first episode and everything like that to hear more of that. Um,
I can
but
catch you up just a little bit. Molested for 4.5 years. Raped. Beaten. Nearly killed with a fractured skull. After a 4.5 year relationship. And I went through those things not because God put me through those things. Because God doesn't put you through pain. You may go through situations and things like that to try to bring you closer to the Lord, or because He has you to use you in the story to tell others so that they'll find Christ as their Savior. That's what I truly believe. I went through those things for a reason. I have this MSA to help create awareness because nobody knows about it, with only one person out of over 100,000 people. I mean, that's a small amount of people to have this disease. And 10% of my proceeds from my books both books go to defeatmsa.org. And you can also donate yourself if you want to help with research and caretakers and patients. And I'm donating my brain to science so they can research it and hopefully find a cure.
well, well,
I'm not going to
I
use it anymore.
I understand. I understand. Yeah. Well, I mean, that is definitely amazing as well. That even well, that I'll just say it's amazing. I'll just leave it at that. That is amazing as well that you were willing to do that. Um,
Well,
and mhm,
MSA can't really be diagnosed.
mm,
It's only clinically diagnosed, a probable diagnosis, but it can only be a confirmed diagnosis through a microscope under the brain under a microscope.
hmm, okay.
They're looking for ways to be able to diagnose it, but it's misdiagnosed for so many years, and the average lifespan is only 5 to 7 years after onset of symptoms. And I just
Mm-hmm.
hit my 5th year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I would also like to give a shout out to your husband. Is that okay? Can we give a shout out to your husband?
We sure can.
I mean, I know this is GSL. Now we ain't got to get into talking about all that, but what I'm saying is that, like, um, from what you've shared about like how he's been there for you and how he's been your, caretaker, and even I know you mentioned when we first got on that you did your hair, different things like that, where it's a beautiful thing to have a spouse to be there with you through the ups and the downs and whatnot. Is there anything you would like to, share in regards to that?
I don't know where I would be without him. You know, he's been there basically every step. Just like the other day, somebody said he should go golfing with them, and he said he didn't want to do anything fun. And they said, "Well, why not?" I said, "He said, 'cause she can't." So that's not. It doesn't matter. You still need to enjoy your life. Don't waste it away constantly taking care of me, go get people to help you. But he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to leave my side as long as he doesn't have to. And he goes to the grocery store. He rushes right back home.
That listen, in a world where they try to talk down about men and they put out the narrative that men don't want to be married and all this type of crazy stuff that they're saying about men in these days, like shout out to him for being a stand-up gentleman for you, especially in this season. So I don't know his name or anything, but I'm just saying shout out to him. I'm loving, what I'm hearing in regards to y'all's testimony and whatnot, and like what he's doing with you, you know what I mean, and for you and stuff. And it's that's a real man of God, I feel like, right there. Like
Yeah,
even if he's struggling.
his name is Eugene.
Mr. Eugene. Well, shout out to Mr. Eugene. I don't know if he can hear me, but shout out to Mr. Eugene.
Can you hear her, honey? She's doing a shout out to you.
Yes. Praise God for Mr. Eugene. I know you said, I think last time, if I'm not mistaken, you were saying that he's kind of like him in the faith and whatnot. Has anything changed in regards to the last time we talked in regards to him and faith, or is he still kind of feeling some way because of the thing? Him and his faith, is it stronger now, or
a lot of anger?
Oh, understand. Well, I will be praying for your family, overall, your husband, your daughter that you mentioned and whatnot as well. Your son, that he's able to come and spend some time with you and everything. That I pray that everybody will come together and spend that time with you. And I hope that are you able to do anything? I mean, well, I know you said, like, I know you can get in a wheelchair, but are you able to like go outside? Like, can they take you outside? Like, can you go somewhere like at all?
Yeah, he can take my wheelchair outside and get me in the car. Tomorrow I have an appointment. I'm actually out of the house. Usually I just have nurses and stuff coming here, but
No.
I have an appointment outside to be evaluated, and then Thursday I'm going to get to go back out to go to swim therapy.
Okay.
So, you know.
Hey, I was just making sure now because I was like, I would love for you to be able to, at least do something. Like maybe you could have went golfing with him or something. Like, are you capable of doing things like that, or
No,
like you being there, like even if you didn't do the golfing, but
no, not really.
okay.
But
So more indoor activities, man. Then, like,
yeah, we have this game, escape room game. Haven't played
okay,
it yet, but we're saving it for when my son comes.
okay,
Check it out then. My son, he's really eager to smoke some meat for me. He said prof- he's become a pro at that, so he
okay.
wants to fix mom some roasted chicken and some roasted
Oh,
brisket,
okay.
smoked. I'm sorry, smoked brisket, smoked chicken. I said, "Well,
Okay.
mom's ready to have some. What she can
Yes.
still eat." Yeah.
Okay. Look, it sounds like a good old. You say Texas, right? So I mean, good old Texas barbecue coming, or something like that. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, he's from Nebraska right now, so he's ready to get back to Texas where he belongs.
Well, I hope that you enjoy all of that, and you know, so when if you, I understand you probably need to go and stuff like that. I ask you one more question, like how is church and whatnot? Do you have like how do you worship and whatnot? Do people come to you, or do you go, or do you just tune in online? Like how are you able to do that?
Um, yeah, just listen to things online and
Okay.
listen to devotions.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Mm-hmm.
favorite thing because they're my devotions, and I feel like that's God speaking to me.
Mm.
So I just have my own devotional Bible studies.
This ain't nothing like that. I mean, like I said, you've been tuning into me and mine and stuff. It's been a beautiful experience to just take our time every day. And the fact that I laughed about it in the beginning, like, am I really gonna have something to talk about every day? But the Lord really be speaking every day. He have something for me to say and share, and I'll be like, okay, Lord, it's been life changing. So yes, there's definitely something to tapping into that on your own and having that one-on-one time with the Lord.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched this movie called um, The Prayer Room the other day,
Mm,
and it was very interesting. She made her closet her prayer room. She
mm.
put things on the walls that she prayed about every day, and it's really, really neat. I wish I could find me a prayer room.
Well, hey, I hope and pray so, man. Maybe that could be little put hubby to work. So look, I need a prayer room.
Here's Eugene right here. Say hello.
He's gonna be up. Hey, brother Eugene.
Pleasure to meet
Thank
you.
you so much. Yes, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing for our sisters. I'm overwhelmed to know that there's a wonderful man of God such as you to be there holding her hand. That's a beautiful testimony, and I believe that our audience will be glad to see and hear that. Like, it's one thing to go through something and be alone, but it's a whole nother thing to have someone there with you. And so I had to give you a shout out. I know this is GSL and stuff, and I know I kind of joked about that, but we don't have to talk about that at all. I'm just saying that it's a beautiful thing for you to be there with her and stuff like that. That's amazing testimony all by itself. Look, you got a book coming.
That's what I told him.
Thank, thank you, ma'am. I just feel like I don't do enough. She deserves so much.
Mm, see. See, the Lord know how to put somebody together with the right people. Yeah, let the Lord write your love story, people. Wow. Well, I won't take up too much more y'all's time. Then I just wanted to say, well, I'm glad that you tuned in, and I'm glad that you came in to say hello. It's so nice to meet you, and I'm glad to have this time with both of you all. That Miss Daisy came on back to visit us, and
Thank you
I
for
don't
seeing
know.
her today. She had a smile on her face all the time. So that's what I like to see.
Oh, y'all so sweet. You did good, Miss Daisy. You did good.
I've known him since I was 5 years old too.
I know you was telling me now. Don't make me get confused because the mom was in the store and told y'all was going right. Am I getting the story right?
Yeah.
So she knew. Oh well, I'm glad that you all rekindled and that obviously I can see the love that coming from both of you all to each other, and I think that's an amazing thing. And I could just go on and on about it, so I'm gonna stop gushing and I just say. Is there anything else you all want to say before you guys go?
No, I just want you to have a wonderful day, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
having
No,
her. Thank you for talking to her today.
yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. Thank both of you all. I really appreciate it. You all taking out the
My
time and
pleasure. Thank you so much for having me back on Miracle.
no problem. You look, you're welcome back anytime. You want to come back and just talk or whatever, or you know how to reach out to me if you just want to talk or stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed this time with you today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good night. It's late where you are. I seen you holding back them yawns a minute ago.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, I can wrap it up now, but I want to actually. Okay, that's what I do. I'm gonna wrap this up in regards to the recording. I think that probably would have been a good end Editors, y'all just edit the way y'all do. Let me just I'm gonna end this. I want y'all to meet my son. You want to meet my son? He's probably
Yeah.
asleep. I'll wake him up. Thank you so much for watching the GSL Talk Show, and thank you to Miss Daisy Paige for spending some more of her precious time with us. I hope that you all enjoyed this conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and check out Miss Paige's new book, Beyond Heaven's Gates. Good night.